be on the recording. We're good? So I want to welcome you all here. This is just fabulous. Obviously there's a real need for do-it-yourself entrepreneurs to dig into doing somewhat technical things like WordPress, but also the technology has gotten to a point where we can, and that it's really not that techy. And you can do a lot of it yourself until such time as you have very technical requirements, and then, you know, we'll help you figure out when that is and what resources you might have, because we actually do have a number of WordPress developers here at Officexpats, and we'd be happy to refer you. The other thing is that a lot of you are not Officexpats members, and I want to welcome you here. So this is a space where independent professionals can come and get work done here. They can connect with other professionals. There's meeting rooms. There's this event room that can be rented as a classroom. Lots and lots of sort of like the hard benefits, but there's a lot of soft benefits too. So if you're accustomed to working from home, you might find that you're a little isolated from time to time. And this really, really brings you out into the world of other Bainbridge professionals. And as we like to call it in co-working circles, there's a lot of accelerated serendipity that happens when you're bumping into other people. And we try very hard to come up with meaningful events that help you connect with other people. So you're not just having to tap on your, you know, tap on someone's shoulder to introduce yourself. That's always awkward, and we don't go there very often. Just really quickly, if you are interested in membership, and you want to sign up right now, these classes, we saved 15 spaces and then added some for members to come here for free. So if you want to sign up as a member for this series, let us know, and we'll work to give you a discount based on what you've already paid to do this class. And we'd love to talk with you about, you know, what might work for you about Officexpats. So now the disclaimer. You saw in the little note that I sent out last night that we will be recording this session, and we might even be streaming it right now. I don't think we set out invitations for it, but one of these days you'll be able to take these classes from the comfort of your own isolated bedroom. And at least if you, you might be able to see this as a recording, this very session as a recording soon, so we hope to add these as benefits. I need to get everybody signed in. I think everybody is signed in on the clipboard, saying that you've given us permission. And are there any other quick questions? We're going to try to keep this as quiet as possible. So we will be closing the door.
Just want to follow up and say there's a cool event, support, or social gathering every day of the week at Officexpats. You don't have to go through your weeks, you know, not knowing one day from another. And it's a great group of people.
Thank you, Debbie. And membership starts at $25 a month, and you get one full day here, but you are a member. That's, you know, full member benefits. So talk to us if you're interested. So Annette Walker, who is giving us the WordPress knowledge today, has just been a star here as far as being able to bring really relevant, critical information to entrepreneurs. So she started about last May with her very well-attended social media class, and then in the fall she did another one on free and cheap applications that you can download from the web for running your business. And now she's back with a WordPress class, and so we're gonna keep her coming back. She will be also doing WordPress classes in the evenings, not necessarily the member benefit type, but it's going to be worth every penny of it, because you don't have to go all the way over to Seattle and pay hundreds of dollars to, you know, to take a similar class. So she'll let you know as the course goes on if we've, you know, solidified any particular dates, and if not, we'll be bringing WordPress back to this slot as well. So Annette, as usual, we're grateful to have you here. Is there anything else to?
No, I'm so glad to see a packed room and all these laptops and everybody all set up. This is really cool.
Sorry, one more little quick interruption. Since we do have a good crowd here, if you do need to take a bio break, just it's going to be a little awkward, but just do it. You have to do it, right? So just we'll cut across and excuse yourself, and then we'll let you back in.
And tell us
and so if you go out the door this way and just to your left, both bathrooms are that direction. And I'm going to turn it over to Annette. Thank you.
Thanks everybody. This is really awesome. My name's Annette, like Leslie said. I have a business, Astonish Inc., based on the island. I worked for Amazon.com. I worked for venture capitals funded startups. I love the internet. I do internet things. And I so believe in WordPress and that websites are accessible to small businesses. You can create your own website. It doesn't have to be a 50-page, 20-page thing that's going to cost you $10,000. It doesn't have to be like over-designed. You can do it, and we're going to do it here. This is designed to be a 4-session course. We'll take you hands-on, start to finish, where we will create a website. We'll gradually add more functionality. We'll add more content. I'll show you how to put a logo in. And we will change the theme and talk about design and making it yours and how that all fits together. And if you are not prepared to do it hands-on, that's okay. You can still watch. You will gain a lot of knowledge and a lot of know-how that then you can use on your own or later access this streaming or from the content of your own home in your jammies or something like that. That's why we're recording these. So I have handouts. I'm going to pass them around. I didn't get a count. I don't know if I have enough. It's also space to take notes and tell us about what we're going to be doing. And I have a list too. What I'm going to do is keep a list of resources and links and maybe answers to questions that come up in this. And I'll put it on a web page. And so I have my own little sign-up list if you want to know about that or some updates. And I'm passing that around. And feel free to add comments, use the back, however you want to use that. So I have this thing that a website should do something. We are going to build a website, but all through everything I do, I think about search engine optimization, I think about copywriting, I work in elements of design, I work in lead generation, customer retention, conversion. Everybody here has different types of businesses, and I'll try to address the different sorts of businesses. There's kayak rentals and sales. I know that one. There's some coaches, and there's eyeglasses. There's an assortment. I'll try to work those in because WordPress can do e-commerce, portfolio. It covers a lot of different types of businesses. So your website should do something. Whatever your business is, it should be bringing in customers. It should reflect you well. It's all built into this. This is technical. Or not technical, it's not designy, it's very business oriented. I have an engineering undergraduate degree, but I also have an MBA, and I approach this as a business person. And you don't have to be techie or designy, but we're going to have something that works for your business. And at the top of this, it's all WordPress sites. And some of these are Expats members, and it just shows you the variety of designs and look and feels that you can accomplish with WordPress. Today, or through all the session, we're going to be talking about self-hosted WordPress, and that's a little bit different. We'll get into some of the differences between self-hosted and WordPress.com, but they are still very similar. If you're going with WordPress.com, you'll still learn a lot. But a website does so much to establish your credibility. It's up there 24/7. I like the WordPress.org. Even when you get a domain name and hosting, you're still spending a fraction of what you used to have to spend on getting print ads or being advertising in the yellow pages. And what's cool about a website is you can make that change. You will gain the knowledge to make changes to your site, tweak the wording, add a special, add a new announcement, and you can't do that with print or yellow pages.
Could you explain what self-hosted means?
Okay, I'm covering that.
That's all right.
Okay, so I'm going to segue into that. I'm going to something about websites and where WordPress fits in. Your website is your presence on the internet. It is, and we'll break out the pieces. Your domain name is the land. It's the green base along here. It's the land for your house. The house itself is built, we're building it in WordPress. That's the structure, the elements of it. Your address, oh, I'm sorry, I said this, I got out of kilter. The land is your hosting. That's where your files reside. That is your space, your spot. Your images sit there, your files. The hosting, GoDaddy provides hosting, and I suggested HostGator because they offer some really good deals. So the hosting is your land. Your address is your domain name. Your WordPress fits in as the structure of the house. Now, the design of the house, whether it's red or yellow or brick or all these different shapes, whether it's two-story, whether it's contemporary, that's your theme for WordPress. And we're going to talk plugins. I'll keep coming back to this analogy. Plugins are like the trees in front. It's your appliances, your furnace. Some are really fun, like what stove you get or what carpet, and some are not that so exciting, or to most people, like your plumbing, the different pieces of it. Some are more exciting than others, but some form really vital functions, and we're going to cover that in upcoming sessions. We won't get into plugins and themes so much today. We're going to stay like very basic and starter and get a sense of working with content. So WordPress, I have a neighbor who will recognize this picture. WordPress, self-hosted WordPress is open source. It's available. I liken that to our open trails, our open space on the island. It's available for use. You don't have to pay an admission fee. It's not like a park or going to Disneyland. It's there for you. It has a support system behind it. There's a lot of developers around the world. It has a very active community, and it is there for use. It's not that we're just taking something that's not ours, and there's no copyright infringement. It's there for us. Now, WordPress.com is not self-hosted. You're going on somebody else's platform to use WordPress from the same company, but you don't have quite as much power and flexibility. You're not having your own Lego house. You're going to their Lego house and they tell you what you can do. You can do a lot, but you can't do quite as many things as if you're doing self-hosted. I think once you get it installed and get some themes and get familiar with that, working with self-hosted is really powerful, and it's my preference. And through the month of February, we'll see that it can be done, and you can do that. So WordPress.org is the self-hosted, and I have at the bottom how many free themes and how many free plugins they offer. Plus, you can get these themes and plugins from other sites. That some are premium, that cost some money. They're done by independent developers as part of their business model, and a lot of times they have great power. Same with themes. Web designers are in the business of releasing themes that they sell. So they're free and they're paid, but just on WordPress.org alone you see just the vast numbers, and it's incredible. Oops. Okay, lost track. So, is everybody on Wi-Fi? Okay, that's good. So we're going to create a website. I'm going to do something from scratch as we work right alongside you. So I'm going to switch over to a browser. Oh, I left these open to show. This is a noodle shop in Seattle, and it is running WordPress, and it's running the basic version of WordPress, similar to what we're going to install today. But of course, they've loaded it up with a tremendous amount of content. I'm going to show how Officexpats is running WordPress also, and has a different look and feel. Just quickly, this is also WordPress. It's one of my sites, my main one. And this is where we're headed today, or today plus tomorrow, or next week, once we have some of these images. This is a site I did for a temporary site while their main site is built out. It is for a charitable organization that raises money to help cure kids' cancer. And he came to me at my office hours. He wanted to take PayPal donations on his Facebook page. Facebook is a walled garden. It's very restrictive of what you can do. You can do that, but you have to have, it gets complicated. You have to have extra services and to be taking credit cards. And I said, you know what, let's just build you a website. I'll do it today in my office hours. And I created this. This is using a basic theme. We put his banner in, and he was up and running in like 30 minutes and had his donate button to PayPal. And that is some of the power of WordPress, that so quickly you can have a website and you'll know how to update it. So here's the site right now. It's a domain that's been sitting around unused that I own, called Better Home Sales. So I'm going to make up a business. I had to make up something. So I'm gonna do like real estate coaching for real estate agents. And I just have to put in some filler content and we'll go along and do the same thing. So right now, there's nothing there, there's no WordPress. And I'll need to log into my hosting, so everybody go ahead, anybody who's doing this as we go along. I made my cursor really big. It looks kind of odd, so that later when we get into smaller things, you can see.
Is the hosting WordPress or HostGator?
So where are we going now?
Okay, so if you were at, this domain is hosted at HostGator. So I will be logging into HostGator, but and I'll show you this. What they have is something called cPanel, and this is pretty common, that your hosting company will have something like this, some login screen that you can go in and work with your site. And I think there'll be questions, and we have a couple, Randy's back here, he can help and answer questions as they come along. I don't know if you're available, Jason. Okay, so do you know how to, are you able, when you got your hosting, at some point you were able, you got login credentials, and a username, an address, a username and password.
I just wonder how many of us have a website that's already hosted. I have one,
Okay.
but there's no content on it, so it's perfect for this course. But if people don't have a website where they already own the domain name, they might not know what you're talking about.
Okay, I did a lot of meetings.
Like temporarily here in your
I met with a lot of people over the last month getting like hosting and domain names. There's some of you I know have that. Who doesn't know like what to do or where to go next?